Austraeoh by Imploding Colon, read by Deathlight. Chapter 65, Escape. Daddy! Rockspot shrieked. Hold on tight, son. Red Turnip shouted as he galloped down the vibrating plank. The platform shook with the wooden support structures above, as the fire viciously ganged on the group of fleeing ponies. It's going to overtake us! Mary shouted about the heated tumult. What'll we do? Well, since he can't grow wings... Rainbow yelled. Rainbow yanked her up and hoisted the other pony by his wrist. Astral! She shouted across the galloping crowd from where she flew. You and your horn buddies use your telekinesis to give the older prisoners a boost. Miss Dash, you can't be serious. Astral stammered in mid-run. We barely have enough strength to run ourselves. Look, either you help me save these lives or I'm kicking your flanks from here to Ragnarok. Astral glanced behind him at the flames and collapsing tunnels. Okay! He whistled to his companions. His face tensed in mid-gallop as he extended a field of translucent telekinesis. Before they could fall into the wave of chaos behind them, several elder ponies felt themselves being lifted up in magical clouds. With Rainbow taking the lead, the entire group surged forward towards a junction in the tunnel. Which way? Rainbow Dash shouted. I don't know. Astral struggled to shout above his magical strain. We've never been this deep. But I thought you said... A mare shrieked, while burning debris and boiling water was almost upon them. Rainbow Dash looked every which way. Her eyes settled on a thin corridor below them. There! How do we get down there? Jump! Rainbow darted down, landing in a thin stream of water. She shoved the two ponies under her hooves into the tunnel. She darted back up the platform and grabbed two of the unicorns. As she carried them down, several more ponies floated into the tunnel safely. The others jumped frantically, only to be caught by the others before rushing into the corridor. At last, Rainbow caught Astral. Red Turnip Sr. landed beside her and shouted something, but she couldn't hear from the noise suddenly surrounded them. She and Astral looked up with a gasp. The tunnel was collapsing. Burning chunks of debris and muddied water formed a solid wall of death. Rainbow plopped Astral to the ground as Red Turnip drug him away. Rainbow spun and bucked her legs viciously against the wooden frame holding the mouth of the thin corridor in place. She kicked over and over again. Rockspot's voice shrieked in the background. The smoldering debris was yards away from engulfing her. She gave herself a boost with a flap of her wings and snapped the support pillar into splinters. The mouth of the cave fell, acting as a second barricade to the wall of destruction right as it caught up with them. Rainbow Dash flew herself to the floor, gripping into something as the entire tiny corridor shook. Pebbles and specks of granite fell over her mane in the darkness. Just as she feared the barricade would give way, a gentle glow lit the tiny passage. She looked over his shoulder to see Astral and three of his unicorn companions encasing the wall in telekinetic shielding. Several breathless ponies watched from a distance, huddled against the dank lengths of the corridor. Soon, the rumbling subsided, and a deep quiet filled the underground chamber. Rainbow stood up and dusted herself off. Well, I guess those minotaurs aren't in the digging scene anymore. She glanced over at the group. You see, cause it's all underground, and I totally wrecked their day. They looked at her in a deadpan. No, I guess I didn't think so. She cleared her throat and marched over towards Astral. This is all of us, right? Good timing, he said, still trying to catch his breath. You finished with the headcount thread? Yep. Return up said with a nod. 29 of us, plus our rescuer of the hour. He smiled warily as he nuzzled Rockspot on his shoulder. We're all safe and sound. Relatively speaking, an old pony remarked. Where in Tartarus are we now? We're safe as where we are, Rainbow said. Or would you rather be on the other side of that wall with all the burning and drowning and crushing? I very much doubt it would behoove us to dig back in which we came from, Astral said as he shifted the weight of Thunderhorn's belt and uttered. Undoubtedly, there's nothing but water and debris in the main corridor. No sweats! Rainbow Dash pointed down the dark throat of the thin corridor they were presently in. We'll spelunker away until we find one of those vertical shafts that can take us to the top. We're free from the minotaurs, so let's make a game out of things. Pretend we're hiking uphill. Heck, I know a few songs that we could sing. Her voice trailed off as she squinted at Astral's expression. Why so glum? He chewed on his lip. Just like you, I was worried about getting to safety from all that madness. He gulped. But I'm afraid the only place I had access to those escape routes was in the main chambers that we just escaped from. A solemn murmur hung over the crowd. The many prisoners looked at each other nervously. Umeda shifted where she stood. Well, She cracked her joints and trudged down the corridor all the same. Who wants to break into song first?